Righty guys, so welcome back to day 5 of the AI Agent Bootcamp. So today we're going over the modern lead gen secrets, and this is how we're going to get your AI agent presented into, uh, in front of people, right? So we're going to go through over 2 lead sourcing strategies. Um, Yeah, so obviously we're going to go over what is lead generation, types of lead generation, and examples of the best practices. So let's start it off here. Right. So obviously lead quality is key, right? Um, you can scrape 10,000 different prospects, right? And if they're not quality, well, you're not going to simply close them, right? If you're going to go pitch an AI agent to a old bakery in the middle of nowhere, you're not necessarily going to be able to close that, right? So you're going to need to find the right people. So lead quality is the most common uh, precursor. So lead quality is the most common lead pro. So lead quality is the most common precursor to a lack of appointments, right? So essentially, what you must keep in your mind is if leads are easy to find, it's going to be hard to book appointments. Now, vice versa, that works if leads are hard to find, it's going to be easier to book those appointments, right? So obviously, don't just watch and copy, adapt and innovate, right? You can't just be watching a YouTube video using that method that they showed you without adapting. Even if you are doing the same thing, what like you're watching this video, obviously you can't just be watching it and plug and playing without adapting to your niche and the scenario and who you're going for, right? And then you're obviously going to get the exact same leads as everyone else, right? Which is ghosted or rejected 90% of the time. So your offer matters, but sourcing matters more, right? So you can have the best offer in the world, but if you're lazy and place it in front of overexposed prospects, you're not going to close the deal. And, well, you might not even get a reply rate to begin with, right? So tailoring your lead sourcing approach to your niche, right? The best scraping method depends purely on your niche, right? So spend time learning and adapting lead sourcing methods to your niche to ensure high quality leads and appointments. So we're going to go over automating lead sourcing. Um, there will be a JSON file for this automation in the Veckflow community, which you can get over here. Obviously, we have the 6-day AI Agent Bootcamp. It'll be under day 5, so after this one. If you haven't watched these, by the way, go back and watch these first. Um, this obviously goes over the foundation, choosing of your AI agent, building it, and turning it into a money printer. We have one more lesson after this one today. We also have other stuff like how to build your 10K offer, how to start a company with zero funding, etc., etc., etc. Right? So this is where you're going to get all your resources. So let's go back here. So some modern lead gen secrets, right? Exploring the best lead sourcing strategies based on your niche, online or local businesses, right? Online business owners focus on getting the owner's name, email, and preferred social media platform. Use a piggyback transition method for scraping. I'll show you this after the automation. Um, for local business owners, focus on getting the owner's name, personal phone number, and additional information like Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. You can use different web scrapers. Okay, so let's just go over the Make.com automation for lead scraping. So obviously you log into Make.com, it's completely free, so don't even worry about it. You're going to go up here, click new scenario, and then you'll see the 3 dots down here. Click on that, import blueprint, choose that file that is in the description of the community, right? Save, and then there we go. Okay, so I know this may seem like a lot, but it's honestly very simple. I'll run you through it now. So essentially, all it is this tool here is going to be your search term, right? So each of these ones are different platforms. So for example, this one is going to be a Google Maps scraper. This one is a Facebook group URL. This one is Instagram, TikTok posts, and YouTube search term. And this router just allows you to choose which one, and how we pick each one is by replacing this value here. So if we wanted Google Maps, right, you can even just see it here. Obviously, Google Maps scraper. You can type in here, obviously Google Maps, right? Click save, and then that will direct up into Google Maps, right? Then you need to go on to Apify. It looks like this. This is simply the Google Maps scraper right here. How this works is very simple. Essentially, you put your search term, whichever niche you are targeting, location of them, how many prospects you want to extract, um, and then there's obviously other little kind of parameters that you can put in. So if we were to just run this one so long, I'll just give it a sec. You can see, you can simply even just run this. I'm just giving an automation, so it's a bit more systemized, but you can honestly just go into Apify, go on the Google Maps scraper, and it'll be done. So let me just abort this for now so we don't go crazy. But as you can see, for restaurants in, I think it was New York, we get a bunch of restaurants with, even the streets, obviously the city, the website of them, also their phone, even category. You can use that in your tailored message, even the URL. So that is if you were to go for Google Maps. Now the same goes forward. You just find a Google Maps scraper. You obviously link your account, right? So there's my account. And then obviously you can change this here, which is your search term, right? So this is fairly straightforward. You just need to link your Apify here and obviously link a Google Sheet. I would suggest doing a different Google Sheet for each one so that you don't get confused. Like I said, you can always just scrape here, export the results, and then you will have your Google Sheet with all your leads, right? So that's one way of doing that. Then what you can do, you can simply go into ChatGPT, and you can obviously say to it like something on the lines of, please sort this lead list into qualified prospects according to your parameters. So say for example, they must be in New York, they must be a restaurant, they must have Instagram, a social media presence, blah blah blah, like literally whatever you need to qualify these certain prospects. You will ask ChatGPT to do that, and then you will end up with maybe 10, 15, or even 20 relatively qualified prospects that you can reach out to. So yes, that is essentially our local business omnipresent scraper. Oh, hold on. So this is obviously to automate the process of finding local businesses, owners' information, including name, phone number, and social media profiles. Now, the piggyback transition method, right? So obviously, don't watch a YouTube video that uses a method without adapting and get the same leads as everyone else and experience 90% ghosting rejection rate. But what is this piggyback method? So, for example, we'll go into Instagram, okay, and we'll choose a creator in your niche, right? So, obviously, like Liam Otley or Charlie Barber are within my niche. We go into Charlie Barber and we go find an Instagram post like this, for example, right? Then we're going to go click down here on others, which is going to give us their the amount of people that have liked Charlie's posts. Then you're going to download this extension here, Instant Data Scraper. It's completely for free, but essentially the way it works, you will open up this page, you click on here, and it will open up a new page of leads, right? So we got 9 from this. Now, do bear in mind this is a bit more of a manual process, so you'll probably be able to automate about 80% of this, but you will just have to rinse and repeat this a couple times. But this can be more effective because they follow a creator that's in your niche, which means they already have some idea of what you are trying to offer them, right? Because they already have been somewhat educated from another creator. Then you export this and do the same process with ChatGPT, where you'll give your parameters and qualify them. Then, on an extra kind of step, what you can do is download. This is where it will be, obviously, you will need a bit of money for this, but you can download a software called IGDM Pro, or they have, I think it's a 7-day or 14-day free trial where you can automate messages, right? So I will soon be giving away outreach DMs, emails, and templates for that. So stay tuned for that. It will be within the WAP community, but you can automatically send DMs to these qualified prospects. There is also other softwares that you don't have to pay for. IGDM Pro just works for me pretty well. And it will send that first automated message as well as follow-ups. So in terms of automating your lead sourcing, those are the 2 ways. Obviously, one through make.com, which I have used many times before, and it works very well. You can honestly get quite a few leads out of this. They're not exactly the most qualified prospects, but putting them through a qualification system through ChatGPT, for example, will be able to qualify them even further. And then you can run them through an outreach automation or manually outreach to them as well. If you are going to be using an outreach automation, just be careful because Instagram obviously doesn't like AI automations through the DMs as well. So just be careful on the amount of time and how many messages you're going to be sending through that. Also, do not run multiple operations at once. Anyways, so yes, Apify, you can even just run it through here if you don't want to use this whole thing. But this is fairly straightforward, and the JSON file will be down in the description. So obviously, local business lead sourcing, right? Which is focusing on getting own information, right? Using web scrapers, whether it be Google Maps scraper, anything of that sorts. Just go into Apify. Honestly, Apify is one of God's greatest gifts for people in the automation space, actually anybody in the online space. Obviously, focusing on getting the owner's email and social media. Obviously, that's the best way you can actually contact them. If you do have actually quite a bit of money, get a software called Instantly, which will run email campaigns for you. Like I said, I will be releasing a email outreach scripts that you can tailor to yours. Like I said before, don't just copy and paste it. Tailor to your voice and who you are as a person, and how you would usually speak, because people will be able to tell the difference. Then obviously you can use the piggyback transition method. Which is finding, creating your niche using their likes and scraping through them. And then I can show you obviously scraping of 500 quality leads, but I've already shown you that already with Apify. So yeah, very straightforward. Like I said, online business lead sourcing, piggyback transition method effectiveness, personalization of outreach, avoiding overexposed prospects, and automation and efficiency. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, very straightforward, nothing too complicated. If you do have any questions, feel free to join the Veckflow education, where you can just go into the chat space here, and we will answer any questions that you need. Like I said, we also have how to build your 10K offer. So if you haven't gone through that, also go through that. Also, the AI agents. Um, so yeah, guys, if you found this insightful and valuable, obviously join the WOP community where we will be able to give you guys constant feedback on your approaches to building an AI agent. Um, and yeah, I'll see you for day 6.